It's the podcast earlier on a Tuesday. Corey, unfortunately.
High energy.
Corey, unfortunately, because I had to wake up early last week to drop my car off. She's like, turns out you know how to wake up early. We're doing these early.
Listen,
now.
I've been awake for a few hours now.
I've been awake for 10 minutes.
Welcome to Tuesday.
I'm still yawning.
So I thought it would be great, since we do a Cookie College podcast, that we get both of them done, checked out, posted, whatever Heather does, post-processing, removing.
I produce the podcast.
You're a producer?
Yeah, Corey, this is what happens. As soon as she's like, bye guys, she immediately abandons the table. Like, doesn't even put her stuff away. I'm slaving for the next 2 hours to get this stuff with the intro music, outro music, deleting any curse words she dropped in there.
It's mostly the tapping.
Then I gotta do the Wednesday newsletter. Then I gotta do the Cookie College podcast.
I know. So I'm giving you more time in the day
to get it
at
the time to make me have the time. But today on the podcast,
to the podcast, we are the twins.
I feel like that was done maliciously. I feel like that was done. I want to talk about it. I feel like that was done maliciously. The way you interrupted
I want you to.
Is that how you talk to your son?
Match
your
my
husband?
energy.
Your son and your husband? Are you interrupting them with a positive response?
And where do we put our plates when we're done eating?
Thank you for watching that. And he's like still eating. I would be like, we need to go to couples counseling.
They did have one of those. What is those little shaker bottles with the little circle in there that's supposed to help?
Protein shaker cups? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay, putting it in
those
the
little
sink.
things mix.
Washing it out and putting it in the sink, there's still particulate in there.
Ooh, that protein powder, you gotta really,
it's really got to take a cycle
the
through
shake that you
the
did to shake it up, you must shake with soap.
I know, but I hate taking, like, first off, it's wet in there. Now I have to take the ball out and put it in the right spot. So I did say to Nate as he was drinking one the other day, I said, you know how you like to put that just in the
sink? No.
You're taking the little ball out. So let's together.
Okay, I was talking to Ruth Ann about it. People who ask for needs as questions, but indirectly is nails on a chalkboard, right?
Yeah,
but that's
how many times?
That's how she communicates. Everything's a question, and you got to decipher if it was a need or a genuine interest. So she says to me, though, she said, "What are you gonna break down those boxes?" And I said, "No, I'm gonna keep them forever." Of course, I'm gonna break them down.
I said tonight, like, obviously both of you don't like to put the little ball thing in the correct spot, and that is why the new home of the shaker bottle seems to be the thing.
We would get divorced if we were married.
Me and you?
Yeah.
Are you and Nate?
No, me and you.
I would put the shaker bottle in the correct place.
Okay, if you and I were married, how long do you think a relationship would last?
A day or two.
I bet the longest relationship you've ever had.
But I would put the shaker bottle away, and that's what you like. I might not put it in the spot you like it to be put away in the dishwasher.
You're Nate, and I'm the new.
No, dishwasher, he leaves it in the sink. That one we're all divorcing.
If we divorced, what would be the cost of, what would the law paper say?
You have no ability to be nice to other people.
I'm exceptionally
irreconcilable differences.
Is that what you in your last husband said?
Anyways, welcome to the Baking It Down podcast. We are actually a spin-off from a group on Facebook called the Sugar Cookie Marketing (group). What we do is like to see what is happening in the groups and then bring it to the podcast. So while you're decorating, you can learn a little bit, either if it's a hot topic, a customer relation issue, what's going on in the world of cookie decorating.
The fun thing about being able to manage a group like that is you can see a lot of the trends based off the questions that people bring. Right now, big trend, lots of those spam Facebook hack messages.
Yes.
I'm getting them, and now that's just the name.
It's final.
It's like Sarah Henderson says you're about to lose your account. I think yesterday across the pages I managed, I was probably getting 20.
It was crazy. I will say, as an admin of a Facebook group, you can see people who are unavailable. Unavailable people technically probably have had their accounts hacked.
That also your ex-husband? Is he unavailable to you?
He's still unavailable.
Yeah, but now you're seeing an increase in those unavailable accounts, indicating that they've gotten hacked.
I know. So I removed those unavailable accounts. Like, I don't ban you. You can come back if you get your account back. But typically those are taken over, and then you'll see a random will be like, Sarah Henderson said final warning.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's something's happening where it's such an uptick in it. I think a lot of accounts get compromised through some scam.
They can't make fake accounts anymore, so you have to take these people who have like no two-factor authentication. It's their dog is, I love my dog.
I'm going to throw this out there. If you've had a Facebook password for a very long period of time, here's what I'd recommend. Change it to a character password that includes uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and characters, right?
Yeah.
Symbol. Make it over 12 characters. And I think you're thinking, what in the world would that be? Use a password manager. They generate themselves. Update your password. Enable two-factor authentication, and then force sign out of every instance of your Facebook.
Yeah. For those of us with iPhones, Androids are light years behind us.
Absolutely.
Your iCloud.
We're still trying to open a camera app.
Your iCloud keychain password manager is a great place. And if you go and check it, it'll tell you where an instance of where your password has been leaked, and it will suggest that you change it. So,
Android people, we can Google, have I been pwned? And you can see instances.
Have I been what?
PWNED. It's like an old word from
Pwned?
It's an old word from a while ago, but now they made this website like, have I been? And then you can find all the instances. The thing is, if you Google that and you say, oh, look, this website lost my password, remember to yourself, do I use that password anywhere else?
Right. And oftentimes, people who don't have a password manager, who have short-term memory and can't remember things a lot, will use the same one on maybe Yankee Candle that they use on their bank account. So you have to think, like anything you've ever signed up for, that is an access point for someone to take your accounts.
Okay. Not today's podcast.
Sorry.
But something to keep in mind. So we get to see these trends of these things happening. And one thing, Corey, well, as December's bright, shiny bulb dims into the lulls of January, where these holidays go from the ends of the months and I would say January compared to December, 15x, 10x come off from leads. And it creates a lot of cranky bakers. How can you not? You went from just printing money to begging for it. And then we have in January, hardly any holidays that are celebrated with cookies. Then we have February, we get this half holiday, February 14th.
Yeah, I would say unless someone has a birthday, people are getting their credit card bills in January.
Yeah. It's New Year, New Me, I'm not spending money.
Yes.
New Year, New Me, I'm going on a diet. New Year, New Me, there's no holidays.
Yeah, I need to pay off these bills. I occurred a lot in.
So it's actually not the baker's slowest time. That is in the summer months, but you guys don't care because you're taking off too. But this feels like a very slow time. And then you get a lot of the grumblings.
I always feel like you're attacking us when you're like, you're taking off too. So I'm not taking off.
I'm going to be like, yeah, you guys are leaving me. And I still have to work. You guys are all leaving and I'm still here. Nobody's listening to the podcast. But so what happens? So Corey wanted to talk about leads and lead conversions and lead acquisition. Fancy way of saying get somebody to call you and buy cookies. Yeah. And there is a difference in the quality of lead versus what it represents is the work to cultivate that lead. So a lead, give us what your definition would be.
Of a lead?
Yes.
Someone who either emails, messages, texts, calls for an order inquiry.
So this is marketing's job. Marketing's job is to create the call, the email, the order inquiry.
Inquiry.
You got a little fancy.
A little fancy.
Shame. The inquiry has been delivered. So, and then we have conversion, which is taking that lead, that interest, that inquiry, and turning it into a sale. So there's kind of two parts of this podcast today. It's lead acquisition, generating the lead. And then there's lead conversion, turning that lead into a sale. Now, Corey's tagline of this podcast is not all leads are created equally.
I like that. Was that mine?
Was it not?
Did you assign it to me?
I do not know. Was it mine?
The thing that we've seen a lot in the group is a lot of people saying, like, people are lowballing me. People saying I'm priced too high. Well, one, it's great that they're knocking at the door. But it's where you get the leads. It's going to determine how easy it is to make the sale.
So a great example is I should be washing my own car, but it is just so cold outside.
It is cold.
It is cold. So I was going to find a mobile. I didn't want a mobile detailer. I wanted a mobile car wash. I wanted a guy to take a few little sudsies, throw it on that thing, and wipe it off. Okay. So a guy had posted in a community group. I know the new community group spam is no longer air duct cleaners. It's mobile detailer.
It is mobile detailer.
So risky click here, but I had seen he was active in it. So, of course, he says the only way to contact him is through Instagram. I'm not. Okay. I do not use Instagram. My account on Instagram looks fake because I do not use that app. I just have it really for work.
You stalk me on it, really.
I like to see what you're up to.
Yeah.
I like to see where you're going. What you're doing. See my exes repost. But okay, so I have 6 followers on it, no bio. I have no pictures. I don't want to use it, but I do have a name. Okay. And that's the only way to contact him. So I said, hey, I'm interested in getting a quote for a car wash. She said, make and model. I'm like, we're just going right for the heart.
You said, listen, I want a quote. And he said, say less.
Impressively, though, he did. It was midnight. He replied at midnight. I said, what? He said, you know what? Burning the
business boundaries? I don't know.
Yeah, I was even like, maybe you should tell me ways. But, and let me say, don't get offended when a lead comes in. Just disable the ability to see it until 9 to 5.
Yeah.
However, this guy was like, absolutely not. I want to see it. I want to talk to you. So make and model, tell him what it is. He's like, the quote for that's $110. And I thought a car wash would be around $50. I know it's mobile. Listen, I'm not experienced here. It's my first foray.
We don't come down to your price.
It's my first foray.
We know our worth.
Mobile car washes. But all he says is the price is $110. There was nothing. There was no emoji. You know I'm an emoji person.
You are.
Send me. Are you mad?
A little bubble emoji.
Were you angry when you wrote $110?
Soap bar emoji.
That would be great. Give me a bubble emoji. Give me a car with a water drip emoji and a bucket behind it. So I said, oh. I had said, what is the cost of a car wash? And he said, it is $110 for the detail. So we're using 2 different words now. He said car wash. He said detail. And I said, what is the difference of a car wash and a detail? And the explanation, he said, this is all he wrote, is it takes me longer to do it. Do what? Wash faster. I was thinking 20 minutes. I turned the water pressure on a little higher. What's going on? I said, wait, he's got the lead acquisition, and he got it by posting in a community group. Yeah. He had great photos. Yes. He had good social proof. But now in the lead conversion, he's fallen off completely. What I wanted what's the difference of a car wash? And I didn't want it takes me longer. I want to be like, I'm under the car, I'm in the car, I'm around the car.
Soap bubbles on the market.
I'm giving your car a therapy session. Like I wanted that explanation, because then it'll allow me, because technically I have to come up 100% from what I thought this was going to be, 110%, because I'm thinking it's $50. Now we're at $110.
Plus you got to tip that. Tip culture.
Don't worry. We don't have to worry about it. I'm not used to it. So the conversion. So then I said to him, okay, thank you so much. I will probably schedule at the end of January. And he says, sound good. Like there's, again, no emoji. There's no cultivation.
Why are you shopping?
I'm on Instagram. Car wash
so far away.
Well, I would have said tomorrow it was $50. I would have buy myself some saving room.
Oh, I need to go check with my husband.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have a husband. So I gotta check with my federal.
My calendar.
I gotta go check with my bank account. The bank account said we're busy. Then I'm like, okay, in my mind, I'm trying to convert myself. And I was like, well, I wonder
if
he does.
You're on your own, dude. Yeah, no. He done
so back to bed. I come back 15 hours later. And I said, just a quick question, sir, on Instagram. I said, do you wash the undercarriage of the car? Because there's a lot of salt on the roads, right? I just said, does this include this?
You were really trying to throw him a bone.
I'm like, hey, buddy, listen, I'm going to roll this kickball towards you. I'm going to make it real slow. And he was like, all he writes back is yes. Okay, so we had the lead generation, the lead qualification. I do not, and this was, Corey made a couple points that I do agree with. She said, to bring in a lead, there's difference in the quality of leads.
Yeah.
If you bring in leads of people who only have $20 to spend and you're asking them to spend $80, those are low quality leads for your business. They're actually great leads for Oreo.
Yeah,
They're going to be like, oh my gosh, my $20 buys me 50 billion Oreos. But for you who's saying, hey, I need your $20 to suddenly increase fourfold into $80, that's going to be really hard for them. So it's a low quality lead. Now, how do you acquire high quality leads?
Without saying, give me all your money.
Yeah, I only want rich folk. Heather need not apply for this car wash. So Corey starts off with this. We buy with our eyes. The higher the product photography, the better the lead will be, because a higher quality photo naturally makes somebody think this is more expensive. And I think that it accomplishes it in a couple different ways. Think about just looking at a Mercedes advertisement on TV. It is a cinematic masterpiece.
It is like, it's a mini movie.
Mm-hmm. But they could have just taken their iPhone and walked the dealership and said, these cars are for sale. It's the same exact cars. One says this car is going to be expensive. This other one says you're going to have to haggle.
The other one says we're going to haggle a little bit for VR.
The one says Heather can afford watching this.
Yeah. So, if you look at any advertisement in a high-end brand, like let's say Louis Vuitton, right? It's well-placed photography.
It is very high quality. Even if you ever want to see truly high quality photography that sells perfumes, you can't smell them. So how are you going to sell?
Like create an essence, like
so you get a very very famous actress, and she's running through a field of flowers, and she's like, "This is what this perfume feels like." Right? And you're like, that does not help me. But how are you going to sell a perfume?
How are you going to sell a high-end perfume?
Right.
Parfum.
De toilette.
Here's the thing. You could put used perfume on Facebook Marketplace, taken in, I like it when it's taken inside your bathroom and I can see the reflection of your phone camera.
My reflection in things is my worst nightmare. I hate it. Here, you want affordable for parfum? Go to Ross. They're all in a plastic container.
They have the sticker right on the back, not even on the bottom.
You have to bring that giant box that's a safety box so you don't steal it. And you're like, hey, can you unlock my parfum? My parfum, so I can buy it. So higher end photography is going to signal to your audience, don't apply if you can't afford it.
Yeah, it's going to signal to them a higher end product. Mm-hmm. The higher the end, the more qualified the lead that's coming in from that post.
Again, we want these parts of the lead generation cycle to kick out the tire kickers.
Yeah. You might be like, I'm getting fewer leads, but they're all converting. That's the goal.
That's the goal. And they're all high quality leads and they're returning leads. So right now you may say, I'm not getting any leads. If you're also not getting a low quality lead, you're actually making money because time is money, and trying to convert somebody who is never going to is costing money. So Corey also says, copy design for the pain points of the specific consumer you want to target. So let's say somebody's trying to save money. And you're trying to charge, these cookies are ridiculously expensive. Mm-hmm. If we're honest, if we're comparing you to Oreo, you guys are just coming out with guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
So we have copy design for the pain points of the consumer. Now we're talking about a consumer who can afford $80 cookies, $50 cookies, whatever. That's a really high number. You're going to not say, do you want to save money? Because that's not what you're selling them. What you're going to sell them is, hey, do you want a gift that people can remember? A gift that's so custom to your recipient that they'll be just crying.
Handmade to order. Means like I'm making it for you.
Handmade to order, high quality ingredients, custom packaging. Like these things scream to me high quality, and high quality screams to me expensive. So I know what I'm getting. Now, if you go into a Facebook community group and we write this copy, so the copy is the caption on Facebook, right? And I write something that implies that this is affordable, or I steer clear of ever mentioning price because I'm afraid it'll scare people away. What happens is you're going to land in your inbox. They're going to ask you the price, and you're going to tell them it's $110 because it takes me longer, and they're going to be like, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, no thanks. Because your post did not qualify the leads coming in.
Right.
I will say words I stay away from with my bakery are the words flash sale, leftovers. Mm-hmm. Which you will have leftovers. You do want to get product out because it does go
great
bad.
Way to clear yourself. Great way.
Absolutely.
To clear yourself, but not a great way to build the funnel.
It's not a great way to build those quality leads.
Are you saying we shouldn't do flash sales?
I like to say, hey, I'm an idiot. I overbaked. And then position it in a way where it technically is a leftover.
This is high quality stuff that you are getting because I made a mistake.
I made a mistake. Not discounted. I couldn't move this product, so we're discounting it.
It would be weird to go into Ross and see a full price Coach bag. Because I was not prepared for a full price. Now, if I went to Ross and saw a Coach bag that was 60% off, I would see a bunch of ladies sweating and brawling in the aisles because that would be exactly what we went there to find. So for Ross to suddenly, if you guys don't know Ross, Dress for Less, for Ross to suddenly put in their stores full-priced items would not quantify their leads. Their leads are actually people who are trying to save money.
Yeah. So when you bring people into your fold through sales, through leftovers, through, I couldn't move this to the market. Yeah,
and use giveaway. We talked about it last week. Use them sparingly, but remember how you get them is how you keep them.
Right. You're bringing in this lowballing offer. They don't want to pay full price.
They're not used to paying full price now. You essentially became a Ross and they loved it and you loved it. But now you're saying, I'm no longer Ross. Ross closed.
Right.
We're now Neiman Marcus. And you're like, what in the world?
Like, whoa, I'm not ready for this. Last week I paid $10. This week you're asking $20.
If let's say this would be an interesting idea to quantify the leads to bring up that higher end copy, that says, hey, this is going to be, to get them in there that way, and then run a flash sale to that audience on your page. That way it's not an acquisition tool. You are truly clearing your shelf and giving somebody that's used to paying full price a discount. I think that would be a better tool than just saying, I'm a discount baker. And then when they get to you, be like, I'm not anymore. I'm a full price.
Yeah,
taker.
and then you're asking a lot of them.
Yes. In essence, you go from being a gift giver to a money taker.
Yeah.
And
you're going to have a lot of tire kickers in your emails and your DMs because they're going to be like, hey, yeah, one time I bought from you. It was this discounted gingerbread man. I bought it on January 1st because he couldn't move it. Can I get those again for the same price?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have to now do the work, which is a lot of work, to say, oh, yeah.
It made a difference when you already had baked and you were clearing the shelf. Now it's an active.
Yeah, now you're fighting for every single dollar.
And I got to say, client's not wrong for asking that.
No.
That's how you got them.
Yeah.
Corey has this one. This is a great way to quantify a lead with very little effort. And it's listing your base price everywhere. It will help people understand. I would have loved to know that car wash started at $100.
Right. And if you saw it was $100, you probably might have not messaged
on Instagram.
And then you're like, but look, he lost the sale. No.
He saved time at midnight.
Yeah.
For messaging, right?
He never had to deal with Heather because Heather was never his target audience.
He quantified me without ever having to talkify me. There was a lot of eyes. So Corey has it listed in her Facebook Messenger FAQs. You can set those up very easily on desktop by going to business.facebook.com and clicking on your inbox in the top right corner. You'll see auto responses or automation, something like that, where it has auto in the beginning. And that says, what is my prices currently started at? There's a lot of auto responses on Facebook. You could include that minimum price everywhere.
Yeah. So a lot of people are like, well, I don't know. I have to see what they want before I can quote them. You know the minimum price.
There's a price at which you will not go below.
So if your minimum price is $45 a dozen and they are only willing to pay $30 a dozen,
you don't even have to deal with
it. You're not even wasting time.
Right. Now you say, okay, well, my price is $45, but I feel like they're going to come and I'm going to have to tell them it's $80.
Yeah.
But they know at least, I'd rather know you start at 45 than think you start at 0.
Yeah.
Right.
Or to think it was a $20 thing and then we're going back and forth and then you finalize the design and then you hit me with a quote and I'm like, oh, I really thought that was going to be $20.
Right. So even the minimum, if saying my prices start at 45 and then telling a client, hey, you're actually coming in at 100, they are still better prepared than not knowing it.
Yes.
So even though you may lose a sale at that point, you were going to lose it anyways by not putting anything. Corey said she has it listed in her about section. Now, something on Facebook has changed the length of those about sections. I've seen more and more people change them and they're longer.
So like that little tiny about section, that appears and that it's not in there. It's in the about section
but
under
the about.
You
could almost do it in both places.
You could. I'd say the more places you do it, the more qualified leads will come in.
We had, and I mentioned this on the podcast before, we had this client and they wanted Google pay-per-click ads.
Really
if you're hungry, tell them, listen,
I
wanted this to be after lunch.
I wanted this to be after lunch.
And I said to Heather, no, she has to wake her up.
And I said,
no,
we
all
to Heather,
suffer
you
for
have to, and we all suffer.
Corey's stomach is growling. So we have a third member of the podcast.
Welcome.
So the client wanted to run pay-per-click ads, Google ads. So when you go to search query and it's the ad above the listings, it's technically position 0 because you bumped in there. It costs money and it's very expensive. So I actually don't run them myself. We pipe them out because there's a lot of strategy to it and a lot of money online. So the client said, I don't like the leads. They all don't have money. This is a very, very high-end remodeler where the leads needed to be spending $100,000, which is insane to me. So I say to the pay-per-click guy, the leads are
trash.
Broke. And he said, Heather, there's no pay-per-click keyword for most expensive kitchen remodeler. That is the sales team's job.
Yeah.
All the marketing team's job is to get the phone to ring. What happens after that is sales.
No person is going to type in baker that will take more money from me.
Mm-hmm. No, they find Corey.
But what they want is someone who looks well branded,
right?
Who looks like a true business, who's not going to take my money and run, who is dependable. You know, those are the things they're actually looking for, and those things do come with a price.
Right. Last Tuesday, the reason why the podcast was early is because I was taking the car to get the power steering pump replaced. I didn't even know that was a word. And now I do. So anyways, there's 5 Dodge dealerships within 30 minutes. But of course, the car was leaking on itself, so I had to go to the closest ones.
I remember.
Right. So I called this other Dodge dealership.
I was
Never
behind you getting sprayed with whatever was
that is. Kicking up on. I had messaged, gone online. They had a form and said, enter your information and we'll reach out to you. I'd done that before Christmas. Then I was actually, because it was a specific car, the sales tech, I messaged the sales tech and I said, I just want to let you know this lead has come in with me and I would love for you to get the vehicle to work on it because I know you have experience with it. And he says, as soon as they give it to me, that lead and schedule you, I'll take the car. A week passes. It's now been 2 weeks. I've never heard back from them. Never heard back from the guy. Never heard back from the dealership.
Must be nice.
Went to that dealership that Corey dropped me off at. And when I called them, it was a girl impassioned by the thought that I was considering taking my. She was excited.
Yeah.
Every question I had, she couldn't answer. She ran back to the service department to ask a specific answer. When I got in there immediately, they had, I'll be honest, they're kind of all in their 20s of people working the desk. They had them so they immediately said, ma'am, we'll get to immediate. A person opened the car door for me. I was an idiot when I was walking out of that service center to get to you. I didn't push the door hard enough like an idiot. A man runs to push it open for me. And then I'm sitting here doing the podcast. They're texting me photos and videos of the car, telling me, asking me, call me and say, hey, here's what we think the price is. Would you be okay with continuing that? We'll have it done before your appointment time.
Crazy.
Ended up costing me a fortune. They charged me $300 more than the typical service cost.
But
I do not care.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want, it takes me longer to do it. I wanted to be sold on the experience of it.
So they didn't know Heather was coming in. She's coming in with a 30-year-old car.
Oh.
She looks bored. The car's falling apart. It's leaking something behind it. So what Heather wanted is the customer service. And the customer service is what brought her in, made her lead, which she was, into a sale, which she did.
They converted me through doing everything correctly. Now, back to the kitchen remodeler, the remodeling company. They never, ever wanted to mention a base price. So every lead that called in was floored.
Yeah.
And I was floored even in writing this stuff. Yeah, that this kitchen remodel was $100,000 because they were like, well, IKEA does it for $15,000. But because they never wanted to scare away the people, they dealt with a lot of tire kickers, which is why we don't like the leads, the pay-per-click. So you can see how it creates a lot of wasted energy. Versus, hey, our bathrooms can start at $30,000, and then the sales team can take them at $30,000, bring them up to $50,000.
Yeah,
how you guys
so
are spending
easier.
$50,000 on a bathroom?
It's so much easier to bring someone from 30 to 35 than it is to bring someone from 10 to 35.
Right. Well, that's how much, because even I had to say, where's the value in this? And then it's in the cabinetry design, I guess.
Yeah.
So if you want high-end cabinetry, that's where it was.
There was this automotive. I just need an oil change. I'm not Heather. My car wasn't falling apart. I just needed some maintenance. And I went to, there was 2 recommended. One was Canton's Automotive. One was Gabe's Automotive. Both had raving reviews.
Both are very close to you.
Yeah. So I went to Canton's and I pull up there because I'm just thinking an oil change shouldn't take that long. And the lady does not acknowledge my presence. So I went there and said, Cleo. And she's like, did you schedule online? I was like, oh no, I just, was in the area. I just needed a quick oil change. Do you guys accept walk-ins? We do accept walk-ins.
Spend the Cantons.
Yeah. She's like, we do accept walk-ins, but we won't be able to get to it till Thursday. It was Monday.
Like, you can walk out.
She was like,
you'll be walking.
You can leave it here.
You'll be walking all week.
She's like, you can leave it here. I said, ma'am, I drove up and hello, I won't be needing to drive it home. Hello. So I was like, weird. That, like, I'm trying to give you my money. You're not taking it. The customer service wasn't there. Went to Gabe. Gabe's.
I know.
He took me in line. And guess what? He doesn't know that I run this community group. Built his business. Because I was like, hey, guys, Gabe's is awesome.
The dude's name was Andrew. So we had gone into Andrew because Corey's husband needed a tire. And he's like, I can tell when you make a post about me. He said, we'll have a ton of leads. So those leads are quantified. So you can see where this funnel, this quantification really matters in getting leads. So in a way, you don't want leads that are so far away from your product offering. And the way you're getting those, and I have it here, is posting in Marketplace. Now, there is a way to generate leads in Facebook Marketplace, but in a Marketplace, in a Craigslist type environment, we are conditioned to think or best offer, OBO.
Yes. When
a listed price is there, that means that's where you're starting at.
Uh-huh.
Almost if you wanted to use Marketplace, you'd have to post a higher price and then allow them. I know. You've got to discount doors on your hands.
Yeah. So Marketplace and Craigslist, they invite that bartering back and forth. Anymore?
I don't know. Facebook just appended Craigslist.
They really did. Craigslist was a little creepy. I felt uneasy
misconnections
on there. But if you don't know, Craigslist is like where you can list stuff for free. It's like almost like the newspaper.
You can list it for money now. Now I listed a car for sale there, or a motorcycle or something. I had to pay to list it.
Oh, really? See, they were like, we're losing money here.
Let's make money.
So if you go to places like Marketplace, which you totally can, it's a lead source, it's a lead avenue, you are inviting that clientele who does like to negotiate pricing. Mm-hmm. They're looking for a deal and a steal. Typically what you find on Marketplace is used stuff
Well, to go to Marketplace and post cookies, if you're allowed to, sometimes it gets you banned. So
Yeah,
we actually don't do that. If you go to Marketplace and someone makes you an offer that you feel is lowballing, and then you hit them with "my price is my price, I know my worth," you're in their territory, man. You're a bull in a china shop of discount buyers saying I know my worth. No, you are in a place where offers are made and prices come down saying I know my worth. No, they know what Marketplace is.
So you might be, Heather, you're telling me to not be on a place where I could get leads. You're telling me to take myself out of a lead source?
Not technically. I'm saying understand that the lead you generate there and the lead you keep around will be somebody who will not pay full price, and nor do I think they should have to.
Right. And they don't not think they should have to.
I hate wheeling and dealing. Hate it. It makes me sweaty. I love that CarMax said we're not going to wheel and deal. But when I listed a motorcycle on Marketplace, I had said the price is firm.
Firm. They all say firm, man.
And then when the guy showed up, nicest human to walk this planet Earth, he said, "Is the price really firm?" And I said, "Yeah, because my bank said it has to be." But I didn't. But that is what, even the price is firm. It's not even firm.
I know. Yeah, because that just means, it's a challenge.
The price is swishy.
I've recently found Poshmark.
Yeah,
what a world. But it's all about wheeling and dealing. You can make offers on people's price.
And
then you can like the listing, and then they can make you an offer.
No way.
You didn't add it to cart. So
what a great
I'll
idea.
give you this, and it will only last 2 days, this new offer.
So then we have cookiers coming in saying, "Here's my product, no offers," but in a land of offers. It feels weird. It almost feels like you're getting taken advantage of to pay full price in this.
Yeah.
Like if to go to Ross and not pay, listen, Ross's business model is based off of giving you the anchor price, slashing through it, and giving you the Ross price. If I don't have that slash through,
if I didn't see the slash through, I'd be like, man, I don't think you got around to the discount on this one. Do you think you could scan this and see
like this perfume in a plastic box? So the lead quantification, that's how you get them. And a lot of it is being very upfront with your pricing, writing high quality copy that uses additive words, not subtracting words like, discount sale,
In my form that Heather made, because I'm using JotForm as she makes me a website this year, her 2024 goal. Okay. My JotForm does not let you continue to the submit button without clicking that the cookies will start at $75.
That's a rough one. Somebody said, but what if I could get them to believe that the cookies are $75? If you're that great at sales, awesome. Great. Some people are just cut from that fabric. Yeah. They are just amazing at selling things. And some of us go to CarMax and we don't wheel and deal because we find anxiety from that.
If you end up in my inbox from my form, I got you. Girl.
Because you've been quantified so hard. You've already jumped through every hurdle.
We're good. We're going to make a sale here.
Corey lit the form on fire and you still click submit. Okay, so now after we get this quantified lead, we know this lead is solid. It's those little dog racing things?
Yeah.
Where they're going through the little back and forth thing. They go through that weird tunnel. They go up and down the seesaw. Yeah. And now we have them in the inbox. So they have agreed, they've signed the dotted line, they're in a long-term relationship marriage document that they are willing to cough up this money. Now it becomes a sales thing. Right?
Yeah.
So we don't technically know what the price is. We know that the minimum price is this. Now it is your job to put on your salesman hat and add that value in every part of the conversation. The way you're going to do that, and I hate to dog on my car wash guy, is you're not going to have me message on Instagram. Imagine that somebody, my car is 30 years old, right? I have an Instagram, but imagine you've got Ruth Ann. She doesn't know what Instagram is. She'd have no clue how to reach this car wash guy. He's leaving every lead of somebody does mom even have Instagram? Does she know how to send a DM?
I have no idea.
Possibly my mom. Anyone who's 60 and over, he cannot reach because the only way to reach him is through Instagram direct messaging.
Yeah.
Now, how could he have converted this? We would have worked in a professional email. Steve at carwashesru.com.
Yeah.
He would have had an email signature. He would have had an LLC licensed and insured. I don't even know if he's licensed and insured.
Well, you don't have to.
No. Quick response time. Now, I will say Car Wash Steve had that dialed in. He responded immediately at midnight.
But he funneled you into a place that maybe isn't as popular a spot to convert sales.
No, it did not feel like the sales process was worth $110.
Yeah. I will say, when someone's shopping for a baker, like they don't have their to-go baker, they will send inquiries to a bunch of people.
That's your word of the day.
I like it.
I like
Makes
it.
me seem fancy
It
a little bit.
does.
Inquiry.
One of those fancy
Part
words at
volume.
qualification. I'd like to inquire about a cookie order.
I have an inquiry. Inquire. A lot of times they will inquire with a bunch of bakers. Usually, typically, whoever gets back first. So it's not just like, my cookies are amazing. And now it comes down to customer service to take that lead and turn it into a sale. So if you're giving them enough information? Are you approachable in email?
Is every response ensuring that the customer feels like this is the best decision they've ever made?
A lot of times I get email while I'm doing something like in the car line, drop-off line at school. And I just want to send a one word. Yeah, I can do that. That is not going to provide confidence and credibility to my consumer. But I'm doing it on the go. I got them a message as fast as I could. Hey, you can take an hour. I'll be home in an hour. And I can write a professional email. My email signature can pop up there. I can really give them the time and attention and hopefully win them over it that way versus just sending something on the fly. Nothing is more abrasive than, yeah.
Right. Ask me how I know. If Car Wash Steve, I don't know his name, but we're going to pretend he was Steve. He didn't introduce himself, that's for sure. If Car Wash Steve had said, hey, can I grab the make and model of your vehicle? I'd love to build you out a quote. I know that whatever's going to come is going to be a little higher price than I thought it was. Then if I said, here's the make and model, and he acted like it was the best car he's ever washed.
Oh,
I don't care.
That's all Heather named.
I needed him to act like that car descended from heaven above.
That it came off the line yesterday.
He is thanking me for the opportunity to wash this car.
But what that's doing is even if he was a little
We're creating
overpriced,
a relationship.
If he was a little overpriced Steve, you would be more inclined to come up to that price.
Right, because of the experience. Now, wow, this guy's so nice. These are part of weird ways to make more money from people. This guy's so nice. Wow, he's so responsive. Wow, look at all the value I get. When I said to him, and I lobbed him an easy one, and I said, what is the difference between a car wash and an exterior detail? Here's where you can say, here's the soaps I use.
That is a great question. I wish more people would ask that.
Right.
Let me go over the differences.
A huge part is that I'm able to come to your house. I use my own water. Oh, those sounds like money saving. I have no idea if he uses his own water or my water. I have no idea. But we never got to that part because all I replied with was, it takes me longer. Now, as a buyer, I don't, that's arbitrary. Are you slow? Or is that why it takes you longer? Or is it because it takes you longer because you're doing so much more? Had he said, oh, because I spend 10 minutes on the undercarriage to get that salt off. I know we're having a snowstorm coming. You know it won't snow, but that salt will be there and I'll be happy to get that out of the components of this vehicle.
Yeah.
We know he's already suffering at 30 years old. He can only take so much.
I always say, wow, that is the coolest theme ever. Man, I say it about every single thing.
I want you to tell me that my cookie idea is the one you've always wanted to make.
You're the very sweetest. Very first birthday?
Oh my God. That is the funniest one I ever heard in my life.
Listen, the amount of times that someone orders custom cookies a year, maybe once, twice, maybe is a lot. They want you to feel like their business is the very best.
Let me tell you this. If I ordered from you once, the odds of me not ordering from you again and doing that awkward conversation with some other baker, very low.
Yeah.
This car wash guy could have had me hook, line, and sinker until the summer came.
Yeah, because you're more comfortable with doing with what
I've told this one person where I live. I've told this one person, here's the keys to my vehicle.
Yeah.
Now I'm telling everybody.
I got a lead last night, a qualified lead. She's like, Corey, I feel like you've gone through the best parts of my life. You did my son's engagement cookies, their wedding cookies, and now guess what? They're having a baby.
I'm reaching out to you again.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah, I was like, wow, these messages are so long ago, but now they're having a baby. So she's remembered the way I made her feel 3.5 years ago.
You qualified her then.
Oh, and now she's qualified the whole way.
Yeah. So you qualified her then, and now you've brought them back, and now they don't have to deal with the awkward, it takes me longer.
Yeah.
I'd spend a lot of money to not deal with it takes me longer.
I hate meeting new people.
Anxiety.
Give me the old ones. It's just a lot to, like the fear of rejection, all that stuff.
Now look, Car Wash Steve, I'm like, how can I spend the rest of my life avoiding you?
Yeah.
I don't want to accidentally run into you in the community girl.
Yes.
So, but because he didn't build a relationship, if anything, I tried to, and now I feel weird. Okay, so we have lead conversion. So quantifying the lead is how we get these high quality leads. Now we've got to convert them because they're still not, their money hasn't been exchanged. They're still, could go somewhere else.
Yeah, but
we want them.
But they're easier now.
They're good.
Yeah.
They're really easy to sell. And now here's where we add the value that makes them think, wow, I couldn't have spent my money anywhere better.
Yes.
And we're going to do that through quick response times. We're going to do that through still that great copy. Like Corey said, this is the very best order I've ever had.
Yeah.
I want to know. I don't care if you're lying to me, man. I want this to be the prettiest car you've ever watched. I want that to be the very best cookie you've ever baked. High-end customer service is going to be that kind of white glove service the whole way through. You guys are white glove prices. You got to have that white glove communication style.
And I love setting expectations. If someone just booked out for March, it's a while away. It's not even in my mind.
March doesn't exist right now.
It doesn't. So I was like, hey, you will not hear from me.
I do think I have a dentist appointment, so it definitely doesn't exist.
I said, you're not going to hear from me until a week out from your order. But it's put it on my calendar, set the expectations. I'm not ghosting you. We're ghosting each other.
In fact, I'll remember this for you.
Yeah,
you don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
That makes me feel like that's what I paid for, is that they're going to remember too. I would love to know the thought that you have forgotten and have to do the awkward hello.
Yeah, I'm just following up about my cookies. Like, I hate when I see the word I'm following up with. Like, that means I didn't do something
Here's
right.
my little key word there. When somebody has to use the word just, you miss something. You just missed something. If I'm just following up with you, it means they're like, I think you should have followed up with me.
And
they're being very gracious. They're being very gracious with the word just. I actually heard once in corporate America, stop using the word just because it means you are hiding a direct request.
Yeah.
So when you force your clients to say, just reaching out.
I got a just reaching out yesterday.
Aww.
Unfortunately, she emailed on January 4th. I emailed her back January 4th. But apparently it went to spam.
Fair.
So yesterday she said, just following up, sent you an email last week and didn't hear back. And
I have to awkwardly been like, I did send it to you.
So what I said, oh my soul, would you mind just checking your spam for me? I got to check some things on my end. I actually did send it to you. Here, I'm going to resend everything. I would love to bake.
Did she let you off the hook? Even though it was spam.
She's like, oh, that was so my bad. Yeah, it was in my spam folder. Right. I didn't see it.
Please see, you'd want to, again, still the white glove service. Corey's like, I sent it. However, versus it's probably my
check
problem.
Spam, or I already did.
Yeah, please. Yeah, some of you guys write these like clinical. I feel like I've gone to the
OBGYN.
Yeah, honestly, please check your spam. It's like, hold my hand at least. So like, it's going to be okay.
You can still save it. You've just got to give that customer service that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Not that white glove service. OBGYN.
Yeah. Like, I got to say, Car Wash Steve was very clinical. I did not feel warm. I did not feel fuzzy. And I also don't feel bad.
Steve was one worded. He wasn't even clinical.
Car Wash Steve said, check your spam.
110.
Takes me longer.
Heather hates when my husband
says
THX for thanks.
They don't know send it. I didn't need the thanks.
The 3 letter
he shortens thanks to THX. Don't even thank me. I'd
Yeah.
rather be isolated without that. Like, I'm so
Thanks.
worth little to you. You had to drop
So
off 3
Heather,
letters.
say how you say it.
Thanks. I said, tell Nate. I said, you're welcome to his thanks. Rude. Easily accessible booking process. If you make it very hard to book, Car Wash Steve, it's going to be very hard for me to want to give you money because it doesn't feel very high end. Mm-hmm. So if you say, hey guys, I use Venmo, friends and family, please use friends and family at checkout. So otherwise you'll need to, we're all evading taxes here. The reason why it's important to not take money through Venmo or PayPal, friends and family, is because that is letting the client know that in the event that I don't deliver, you're not
protected.
You are not. You are not getting cookies. You're not getting your money back.
Yeah, it makes me feel weird.
It's so funny in that car parts group. Granted, they're all falling apart, right? Of this random car. They're all trying to buy parts for these cars. The scammers know it. They're dialed in. Like I said, they've created their own Facebook groups. They're geniuses. But you'll see this guy said, hey, screenshot, please don't buy from this guy. He's a scammer. And someone said, did you buy from him? Yeah. Well, then charge back PayPal. I said, no, I did friends and family. That's what he asked me to do.
Yes.
And it's so when I buy from these people, they'll say, can you do friends and family? And I'll say, hey, I'm going to pay you actually a little bit more and not send it friends and family.
But see, now it's costing you even more.
Yeah, but here's the risk. So when you're saying, I'm a white glove service, but please pay friends and family so I can save $3.
It just, now you all the credibility in that sales funnel that you were building up, they were getting ready to, now they're like, ooh.
Nothing says not licensed insured like friends and family. So that easily accessible booking process, having multiple forms of payment available. And I'm always going to say this one, social proof. That's reviews. That's good feedback. That's somebody.
A page that has been updated.
Whew, yes.
Even if you're like,
Corey's going to dog on me, but having a website.
Having a website. It really does provide that sense of, I know that when I order from this person, I'm going to get a great experience and I'm going to get my product at the end of it.
Yeah. And professional email. So you have a professional email. Thank you very much.
What she's saying, so my domain is in there, but also
who bought your domain?
I don't think you did.
Me. It is in my account.
Yeah, doing nothing. A professional email signature. I mean, you can create a free one within Google, right?
Pretty free. If you want a really fancy one, Y-Stamp is pretty neat. But there's a lot of options. Now you can create them as JPEGs in Canva if you wanted.
There's abilities to set yourself apart.
Just to do these little white glove services. You've already got the lead interested. You've already qualified them. They're already reaching into their wallet.
Yeah.
Now, how deep can you get them to reach is the second part, these conversion tactics to get them. And now when they ask you like, hey, let's say you hit them with price and it is a little high because these cookie prices are not what we're used to when we go to the grocery store. You're going to not want to say $85. You're not going to want to be $110. It's because it takes longer. You're going to say, it's at $85. I'm going to get started on your order. Here's what it looks like. I use the highest quality ingredients. I use this recipe I've perfected. My clients love it. And I think you will too. And I can't wait to get started on this. Here's what this looks like. Here's what you're going to get. You're going to love these colors. I'm going to get them as close to this as possible. Here's examples of other ones I've made that are very aligned with it. And the person's going to be like, oh my goodness, look at all the wow.
I'd be dumb not to go with you.
Because if they didn't go with you, they may have to get Car Wash Steve version of cookies in another Instagram DM. Right. They're going to love to not have to deal with this because at a certain point when people have enough money, they just want customer service.
Absolutely. So people who are like, the cookie world is oversaturated. It's not.
Not in customer service. That I can guarantee you.
Not.
I've seen how some of you are refunding people. It ain't. And that is here's one thing that really helps with conversions is that if anything goes wrong, I met this guy. You remember he had the cleaning company? And I asked him, like, he was so funny. He started a cleaning company, but 1099'd all the employees because he didn't have any. He said, all I am is really just generating leads for cleaning companies. I give them the leads.
Yeah.
He said, but what I do, qualify the cleaners. But if anything goes wrong, not only do I give them their money back, I give them their money back times 2. Here's Teeter does this as well. If you get produce that's rotten, they'll not only refund you for your watermelon, they'll refund you for your watermelon and give you enough money to buy another watermelon. So you get two watermelons back for the price of one. And then when I come to the Facebook group and I see people saying, have them regurgitate the cookie that they thought was dry. I've seen people say, tell them to go through the trash and get the cake they threw out at Christmas.
And tell them you need it for science, but you truly don't. You just want the lefties.
And then you're going to taste it. I can guarantee you, if it's been in the trash, it ain't going to taste good, regardless if it tasted good. But imagine you tell somebody, hey, listen, if there's any issue with the order, not only am I going to give you your money back, I'm going to give you double. I know Corey couldn't even do it.
What I say to them, because you can keep your cookies, which is technically double the price, I say, I have a 100% money back guarantee. If anything arises with the cookies, you don't like it,
that's a great
I will
point.
give you your money back. You keep the cookies. I said I've been in business X amount of years. I've never had to take it up on there. I don't plan to take it up with you.
Because you're ensuring, once I had to get a wisdom teeth removed, it did not put me under. And he was like, yeah, if I put you under, it's going to be quadruple the price. I said, dude, we're doing this together. I want to make eye contact with you throughout the process. So he said, listen, this tooth is turned or something. He said, you see this right here? I said, yeah, I have no idea what I'm saying. He said, that's an artery. If I nick it, you bleed a lot. And he said, but listen, I'll tell you this. If I nick that artery, I'll do a backflip. And I don't know how to do backflips.
Oh.
And I said, well, get in there, Dr. Parker. Drop my little gums up. He was in and out in 15 minutes. That was great. Did not do any backflip. But that confidence does say, not only am I going to be taken care of if something goes wrong, but I can almost guarantee it won't go wrong too.
Yeah, and that's where you get those leads from 3.5 years ago knocking at your door again because they know there's a confidence in the sales process with you.
I want you'd have to be confident in that return policy. When you see, you can kind of see when somebody's going to be like, yeah, I think you just have bad taste buds. Like, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, this is the worst experience ever.
Recently bought a pair of earrings. They were an online store.
Yeah, I went with Corey back to return. They have a physical location at one of the malls,
but it's mostly like you buy them online and then they give you the option to return it in store. Oh, all right,
how convenient. So we go to the store. As soon as we walk in, it almost like a linebacker comes in and says, do you have an appointment? We're like, no, we're just here to make a return. You're not allowed to be in here without an appointment.
Yeah, she was like, if you would like to. It's in 4 hours. It's the next appointment.
But it was like the confrontation in her voice. Like she must have fought a war and then came to work. I don't know.
Here's the
kids
thing.
Were screaming.
We didn't even get the opportunity to shop in the store. We felt like we had to walk right in, right back out.
Yeah, they were like, you need an appointment, and the earliest we have is 4. Almost like, please don't.
Yeah, please
Please
try.
Don't. So Corey finally goes back there at a different time.
I made a weird appointment.
Yeah, even though they take the product from her, it's right there, but they say you'll get your refund in 30 days.
It's still pending.
Yeah, but you had to return it within 30 days of the delivery date. It was so
she was like, I was like, okay, well, I'll come back at a different time. And she was like, well, it's only 30 days from the date that you ordered, not the shipping
right,
date.
Like, oh my goodness, and we can't even be here. You're about to push us out
like,
of here.
Now I'm scared.
Yeah.
So then she was like, we're not seeing refunds for 4 to 5 weeks. I'm like, you instantly took the cash out of my thing.
Yeah.
Why don't you instantly put it back?
And I'm sure they're trying to see if you snuck out a diamond and switched it out with something. But the concept is, this is what happened. After we left that weirdly polarizing experience where they screamed, do you have an appointment? I pulled up the reviews. I was that close to saying that was just the weirdest, polarizing, inconvenient experience. And will you buy from them again?
No.
It's Blue Nile. They have the greatest ads. Their acquisition, their pricing, it gets you in there and you think, wow, this is a great experience. But then this after
weird. Like, I had bought from Blue Nile before. This is my second purchase there. The first one, I didn't have any issues. So, of course, I didn't need any customer service. The second one, it just wasn't my jam. But I felt so weird.
That's a great, because it was like an out-of-body experience. I want to say their store at the mall is stunning. It's beautiful.
It's inviting.
I just want to look. They got those fancy lights that make time. They have all these pretty things in the window. And I was like, wow, you had these nice sitting areas. It looked like a luxury experience. But the minute you go in, I'd almost want to say, Blue Nile, do you understand who's answering the door there? Because it's costing you a fortune. Yeah. When I pull up the reviews, guess what the reviews are? The experience is really weird. They don't let you go in. It almost feels like you're a second-hand human.
It was so weird. So now I am not a customer for life. I was about to be, but that weird situation, plus I haven't gotten the refund, it's just sitting there pending in my bank account.
Yeah, so here is where these conversions and the recurring client stuff really comes. And I gotta say, a lot of you are losing clients with the way you handle these returns, the way you handle these bad experiences. It is just costing you future money, and because you can't see it, all you're seeing is the money right in front of you. And instead of seeing the money you would have had you handled that better.
If you're saying to yourself, I am not getting any sales, where are my leads? Let's look back through your sales funnel process and see why the people aren't recurring.
Yeah. It should be coming back.
They should be coming back. Your cookies are good. So if it's not the cookies, let's go back and see the touch points. Mm-hmm. Are they having to email you to get on your books? Are your sentences short?
Or a lot of times are you closed and coming back? That's very inconsistent.
Yeah. So it's easy to look and say the market's oversaturated.
That's the easiest one, because you don't have to do anything to fix it.
You
have to literally wait for people to die to fix that problem.
Absolutely. And it's easy, and that's the go-to that bakers say. But bakers around you can't be busy, and then you say the market's oversaturated.
Here's the second one they like, the economy shifting. And it is, but the interest rates are also coming down. So it's been shifted. Now we're seeing it kind of level out a bit. But here's the thing. They're still buying the Mercedes.
Online shopping was up 3% from last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, anything to avoid having to go to store.
Blue Nile.
Yeah, but if you're like Blue Nile and in denial and you want to say it's everything but you that's the problem, then you don't have to change, but you also want to make money.
Yeah, and those are the bakers that end up closing up shop, having a bad taste about, having a bakery business.
Can I touch back on that refund thing real quick? Here's why I know the refund process for these bakers is huge, because when somebody says, hey, somebody asked for a refund because it tastes like soap, everyone says it's because you used almond extract. But when someone says, hey, they asked for a refund because it tasted dry, everyone says because they're trying to get free money.
Yeah, they're trying to get free cookies.
The soap one counts, but the dry one is everyone trying to rip you off.
True. It is.
Listen, cookies get dry sometimes. Sometimes a little cello bag had a hole in it. It happens.
Does that happen?
Every once in a while. Your cello bag is not completely sealed.
The thing is, I want you to look back through your things. Don't be the thing that's creating a crutch for your business.
Yeah, don't be the worst part of your sales cycle.
Yeah.
If you did everything right, but when they get to you, the physical human being, they're like, yeah, no, thank you. You can change it. You can fix that. But it's going to take almost putting the client's shoes on and walking into you and see how that experience goes.
I know. And you can have a friend or family fill out your form with dummy information just to get some feedback, to give some feedback to you. Like Heather could fill out my form as, Steve car wash dude. And she can see from her perspective how I'm treating her. Like I wouldn't know that it was Heather behind there.
Right. Yeah. Steve should get a wife and have her message me back because he'd be cleaning my car right now. But no, now I have to go outside in the cold.
So that brings us to our next topic. I'm out of stuff for that topic.
Great. Good, guys. You guys got that. Don't forget to do that the right way. Okay. We have 2 texts. We'll read them.
Okay.
Hi, twins. As tax season looms. Oh, this is a sad text. I hate tax season.
Listen.
Yeah, that's another reason why this time of the year sucks.
Yeah, listen. I wait till the night before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not last year, you didn't. You left me on my own.
It's because I had anxiety, and I said, Heather, you can either plow through this. Because TurboTax is like, we can do it now.
Like, it's even stressing me out talking about it.
I know. Well, this is a text question. It's a tax text. Hi, twins. As tax season looms, a new year, new me is still riding high. Talk to me about QuickBooks. I do my own taxes, but are there other benefits to doing TurboTax? Okay. What am I missing? And what are the other tax finance resolutions that I'll be putting in place for my business? So I use TurboTax to file my personal taxes, but for the business taxes, we do have an accountant. She does use QuickBooks. I think QuickBooks is very clunky.
But she says it's the most used.
She says it has a lot of features, and I will say, when I log into the dashboard, it is getting cuter.
Where's my... I need chapstick.
Okay.
But it's on my keychain,
so
you're going
violent.
to hear some keys.
Nothing but a quality podcast experience for you guys. So, okay, here's what I'm going to say. Yes, QuickBooks it's reading everything that goes in and out of the bank account. You file it. It makes the taxes better. I run payroll through it. Am I a QuickBooks super user? No, I try to just barely know the bare minimum. Mm-hmm. Does it work? Yes. Is it easier to pull reports? Yes. Can you see like profit and loss statements? Can you do all that? Yes. Is it free? No. It's owned by Intuit, which is also what owns TurboTax. So that's how TurboTax can be like, we got your W-2s.
I will say, one time our accountant said, if you're ever planning to sell your business, your book of business, you want to have it in something that, you can put out a nice little pretty present and give it to the next person.
That is the very nice thing about being a legitimate business and getting the, EIN number from the government is you can open a business bank account, then you can connect it to QuickBooks, because otherwise you're mixing business and pleasure and it's kind of arbitrary. I love watching financial audit podcasts on YouTube. And when the guy, I think it's financial audit. What's the guy's name that I like? Caleb Hammer. Oh,
yeah, you talk about him all the time. I thought you guys were doing it.
So he has audits of these people who run businesses sometimes, and he'll be going through their personal statement. And that person will be like, "Oh, that's for my business," and he's like, "You've created a monster."
Yeah, you've intertwined, and you don't want to.
Right. So So I had said to our accountant, she's very ethical. I'm kind of scared of her, I'll be honest. I said, do I need to keep the receipt? She's like, just use the company card. Your bank statement becomes a receipt. So it makes it a ton easier. So if it's a business purchase, we could use a business debit card that connects to the business bank account that connects to QuickBooks.
And everything's divided.
Everything's divided. I would have anxiety mixing the two. Now, one app that I do recommend, as far as doing TurboTax, I do use it for myself. But for the business banking, that's a little outside of I'm sure a smarter person than me could do it. Yeah. However, we do pay the accountant to file this.
Honestly, if I had to say that one thing I hate paying for is the accountant, but one thing I will always pay for
is the accountant. She just knows a lot more than we do. She has experience. And you know what? Hire out your hates. She's kind of mean. But she's
very to the point. She's not putting in an emoji in her message.
She doesn't put any emojis.
Sometimes when she gives us a compliment for something, it's like more than my mom.
Yeah, she was like, "I'm really proud of you guys this year," and we're like, "Really? Do you mean that?
Can we frame that?
Please have your invoice returned to me immediately." One time she said, "Did you not receive my invoice?" Which is a very current. And I said, "I'm so sorry." And
she's like, "I'm just following up."
She would not add a just. So one thing I actually really like, it's Facebook Live was taught on this in the main group, is you need a budget app. I do use it for my personal life. I'm going to set it up for the companies, but it's a great way to get an overview of where your money is going and where you spent it and where you want it to go. I really got to say that little app, my older sister works for it. If you have a EDU email address, you can get it free for a year. But that, in conjunction with QuickBooks, oh my goodness, you will be a fortress. Your Eddie will be bought. You'll know your profit and loss.
But also, kudos to you for doing your own taxes, for your own business taxes.
A lot of people would recommend that you go talk to a CPA or tax advisor and make sure that you're at least headed in the right direction, even if it's a consultation or a one-time thing. I will say the IRS is horrifying.
I
I'm
walk
scared of
in
it.
scaredness that I'm going to get audited.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just like, hey, whatever you need from me, you just tell me, please. I don't want to guess. I don't want to have to guess. So that is a great question. I would check out You Need a Budget. I would use QuickBooks. I know a lot of people use an app called Wave. It's free. I've heard really good things about there. You're trying to save a little bit of money. I would talk to a tax professional, and I would set myself up as a business to kind of be able to separate business and pleasure. So I know what in the bank account is from the business.
Yeah.
It's not touching my personal life. Someone sent an SOS on the class files, so I missed that.
Is that the second text?
It just says, I'm going to just read these out loud because they are crazy. I'm sorry to be needy. I can't seem to find the class file, they and I. Then the next one is just the word help. Then the next one says, think I'm supposed to download today. I'm freaking out, please. Actually, the cookie class files expired on the 3rd. We're on the 9th. Whoever you are, I will help you, I think. Desperate to help by itself is the saddest thing. It has a little period at there.
Just so you know, the text messages are unmanned until Tuesday.
You only check them on Tuesdays. What this person is asking is, we had the cookie class kits for 2023. We mentioned it a million times. Not everyone listens to me. However, they expired on January 3rd, gave people 3 extra days to download them. I actually gave them until January 4th at 9 a.m. Then I gave them until 11 a.m. because I felt bad. So all the 2023 classes archived. They actually became a part of the Cookie College. They will become a single package download. I just have to build that out. That'll be sometime in February. However, you save a ton of money just signing up for the college, getting them there. Mm-hmm. So if you were in the Cookie Class kits and you didn't download in time, just upgrade to the Cookie College. You're not billed twice. It actually takes the prorated money from the Cookie Class kits, throws it into the college. I actually bet you'll like that experience even more.
True. You get a little support, how to teach a cookie class, not just the things
you get our class script, how to teach a cookie class. You can watch us teach a cookie class. You can get our venue swipe files to source a venue.
We should film another of us teaching.
Okay. I think we've gotten better on it. I would like it to, because we filmed the class before we created the cookie class kits. I just wanted people in the college to know how we taught classes.
I just know our jokes are still the same.
They're getting better.
They're identical.
They're identical. If it works, it works.
I know, but I feel bad when people are like, I'm back for the 4th class. And I'm like, oh, Heather.
Sometimes I'm like, I've seen you before. This is going to sound like something you've heard. But hey, you came back. So you must have liked it. So those are our texts this week. That desperate help makes me sad.
Tell them about the upcoming stuff in the Cookie College.
The Cookie College is a membership component. So it is paid. It's recurring. You can sign up for a month. You can sign up for a year and save some money. Course. It's like a collection of things. I actually teach a Facebook Live on it every second Monday. So I just taught this last night on everything you get in the college. Not only is it marketing courses, so plural, it is those cookie class kits. It is the digital downloads. It is the $2 transfer clubs. It is the Baker's Business Basics, but it also is a Facebook group. Now that's everyone's favorite part. Not my talking, although my talking does help them. In this Facebook group, people are like, hey, less talking, more working. So they wanted to come up with these challenges. And they requested this. Heather Campbell Berkshire, I know you're listening. You asked for this. And they wanted to do an organizing challenge in January. So every other day in January, the other one comes out tomorrow, the challenge.
Yeah.
There's a challenge and a minimum requirement to meet the challenge. And then you check in on the thread. So we're calling it January Janitors.
So I will say, a lot of people say, this year I want to be more efficient in my business. When you're more efficient, you can make more money because you're not spending time finding a cookie cutter that you bought 3 years ago in the back of a pile. So what Heather's challenge is like, there's cookie cutters you'll never use. There's blobs that you have no idea what they are. You don't know what shop they came from. And it's time to declutter those. You're never grabbing for them, but they're in the way when you need to, one, find storage, because storage is, you
have money making cutters and you have money lost cutters.
Another one Heather did that I thought was genius is there's some boxes that you're down to the final 1 or 2.
Yeah, you're not going to want to use them because you don't have enough to fulfill tons of orders.
Otherwise you'd have to make another order of those boxes.
So you're going to have to take a photograph or order new boxes. You're going to either sell 2 units, which is not enough to make a nice profit.
Or try to find the boxes. A lot of these things have been discontinued from the brands.
Which is a bummer, right?
Yeah, so it is time to declutter those. And you're going to be like, oh, I'm feeling the loss. Yeah, it is a loss, but it's also taking up storage. It's taking up your efficiency.
I'm so proud. This was actually supposed to be a taste test habit builder. So you could say, oh, I didn't really like that one. I like this one. But people are turning it into like the reason. I saw someone posted a picture and they said, here's everything. We had expired excuses. It was throw away 3 expired ingredients. They said, listen, I've gone through my pantry. I've gone through my family stuff. I've gone through my cookie supplies and filled up the back of their car and said, here's what I'm getting rid of. And I feel so great. So we had cutter declutter. It was declutter 10 cutters.
Yeah. A lot of people, and then Heather let them sell it to each other, which
They did.
defeated the purpose.
It did. But at least the people who got rid of the cutters got rid of stuff they no longer need.
Yeah.
My big thing is let it go to somebody who can use it.
Absolutely.
If you make some money back, even better. If somebody else can use it and give you money, even more. We did 3 expired ingredients. We did the box boot, recycle 5 different packaging types. So it could be a box or a bag of something, or it could be, bag tags.
Yeah.
Email monster. This was yesterday. It's delete 100 emails from your inbox. Inbox 0 being the goal, but how to get there. A lot of people are
sometimes when you look at 40,000 emails that need to be deleted, that overwhelming. 100, that's clicking that little top thing, where it highlights them all.
But I'd like to think if you're there, why not do this one? Why not do this one? So a lot of people, somebody deleted 1,000 emails. Somebody said I just deleted them all. It was done.
Wow.
I was like, whoa, I wish I could do you. Tomorrow's is drawer war.
There's a junk drawer out there.
Clean out one disorganized drawer and post the after of the drawer.
Good.
Because we all have that one drawer.
If you're thinking the cookie college is just about cookies and you have to be a cookie baker to be a part of it, it is not about cookies.
I don't bake, so anything that comes from me ain't about cookies.
It's technically about how to grow your business, whether it be through email automation, newsletter setup, being more efficient. So your LastPass that we were talking about before, so you're not using that password, losing your accounts, can't post to it, all that craziness.
I know that after this, we're recording. The Cookie College has its own private podcast. So if you want to hear these voices twice. But a class I'm teaching this week for them is if you want a professional email, but you don't have the budget for Google Workspace, which is a recurring $6 at least a month, using your domain name, you can actually create a professional email with no cost outside of that domain name, which is $12 a year. Of course, there's some, quality cost there, but free, right?
So it's not just for cookie bakers. It's for bakery businesses looking to grow online in 2024. So if that's something that's a goal for you, you can sign up for the Cookie College right now at thecookiecollege.com. You can test it out. We always say, take a test drive for a month. It's our goal to get your money back plus $1.
So right now it's $76. If we make it $77, let's say you sell 2 DIY kits or 3 DIY kits, 3, 6. That's for $30, $20.
Yeah.
4, 6. So you'd have to sell 4 DIY kits. We paid for ourselves and then some.
True. And then I have pushed myself to learn other things like cake pops and cakes, macarons, sugar cookies. So
and we're getting into bread.
We're doing a sourdough.
Did you sign up for that other sourdough class too?
Because she's a Lake Ridge lady. I said I could do 2 for 1. I could film her, showcase her. And
so you're doing 2 bread classes.
Well, Amber said she was going to try to sign up. The thing is, you had to request that date. If she had enough people to sign up, she would make the class.
Fair. Car cluttered creep. Challenge 6.
My car, I do keep it at a no one looks like they sit in here kind of look.
The trunk. This is the trunk challenge. Didn't you have a bunch of dough in there once?
I cleared it out.
Books booked. Donate 1 book or planner. You have
a lot of times we do collect.
It feels great.
Recipe books.
Oh, I was thinking just any book. I love to buy a book. It makes me feel smart.
I think
Reading
I have those big plans like to use a crock pot every day.
Air fryers. Look at you. Bins of sin.
Bins of sin. Yeah. What's in the bottom of those bins, man?
When you can't, I've been having a come to Jesus moment with bins. Right. Bins are great. They keep things organized. But when you can't see through them, you forget what's in them. If you don't know what's in them, you don't have it.
Absolutely.
So that was clearing out 3 bins. Counter org ops. Organize your kitchen counter. Make it more
need
accessible.
To do one. Or you already have them out?
I'm taking, I do, but I would love more.
Oh, people keep old gel bottles because you're like, I think there's some in there. I got a little spatula. Cut them in half. But if they're empty, they're empty.
Okay, gel hell it is.
Yeah, and then you have all these bottles that have different usages. Like you need to put the ones that are the least amount up in the front and then use those before you open another one because you can't find the other. It's
great to open a new soap. I don't want the bottom of an old soap thing. I need the soap to flow out.
But then you need to.
I know. And then you have all these almost
empty you're not
soap.
Grabbing for the one you have to shake 52 times to get the little dollop out.
Absolutely. I'm like when you're like do like ketchup ball shaking a soap. Yeah. You're done. You're done.
I did, for those that are listening, I did get this tiny, tiny spatula. So if I need a color and I'm like, oh, okay, this one's very empty and I don't want to put him back with his brethren, I'll cut the bottle and use the spatula to get the last bit of color out.
That is money saved.
Mentally, it's cut. We're not going to save the cut.
Yeah, that's good. That's commitment.
It's like cutting up a credit card.
We're doing freezer fixed.
Nice.
Clean out your freezer. I think because freezers make you feel like things last eternity.
That's why I got the stand-up freezer versus the chest freezer, because at the bottom, people are like, I don't know what's in the bottom of the freezer.
I don't even want to look anymore. What if it has a growth?
I know.
Here's one that somebody nominated that I didn't know you guys were doing.
What?
Cookie graveyard cookies you were supposed to photograph and didn't.
Listen,
stay on.
I got a bat
really?
in the back of my dehydrator.
Oh yeah, then I'm gonna switch one of these out for the cookie graveyard, so you can just get rid of them, buddy. Yeah. You're not getting rid of it. A picture purge. People have to delete 400 photos off your phone. I know you guys have 40,000, so you're never gonna feel it.
What I did this year. Did I ever say that? What I did this past year was one time when I got a new phone, he was like, "What's on your phone?" And I was like, "Oh, just photos of stuff." He's like, "What stuff?" And I was like, I really couldn't tell him. I was like, "Well, I don't know, screenshots, recipes, things I haven't used." So every night before I go to bed, I delete what I maybe screenshotted didn't need today.
Yeah.
Because I can remember what I screenshotted today versus
Absolutely.
4 months ago.
In my mind, I'm like, I'll clean you out later. And then I'm like, I don't know sure if
then it's overwhelming. Yeah. So now mine is like easy. I have space in the phone. Which
every
is great.
Saturday. Well, because here's the thing. A lot of you guys are paying for backups.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're backing up.
Right. So everything on my phone's backed up. So every Friday I delete every photo on my phone. I know, but it's backed up.
Mentally, I'm not there.
It's backed up.
Mentally, no.
We have desk access. Clean off your desk and take a picture of the clean desk. I think a lot of people don't realize that visual and audio clutter is really affecting you negatively.
Between every order, I have to do a clean purge.
Yeah, it really feels great to reset.
Yeah.
Wronged ribbon. Purge 5 packaging.
I need that.
Those ones from Michael.
I did not.
Corey said that she went to
gets to the end. You're not going to use it.
No.
I'm talking to myself.
Not used app nap. Delete 3 unused apps from your phone.
Yeah. I really do keep that tight. I don't have anything fun on my phone.
T-Mobile's constantly like, hey, we don't think you use that. But dude, I was thinking about using it. Chill. Desktop delete. Organize your computer's desktop. Post a screenshot.
Yeah, I have no screensaver. It's just a black abyss. Like, am I a sociopath?
I use the factory wallpaper on my phone.
That's better. Oh, now I got to picture my cat.
I want to see personality on my phone. So anyways, the cookie college, sorry we got distracted. That we do these challenges the next month. February is going to be a money challenge, and we're actually going to talk about finance. We did it last year as a test run. People loved it. Talk about debt, which is a sticky subject, but everyone there is extremely respectful. They're all here to help.
Yeah.
Talk about investing because your making money makes you more money. You get to work less.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Amen.
So that is the Cookie College. If you want to jump in, you can have your purging purgatory with us at thecookiecollege.com. You're going to want to sign up for the membership that is $76. The Cookie Class Kits reset, so there are only 2 classes, but we just dropped the football frosting. There was a typo in the header.
Heather wrote forsting.
So funny to me.
So now there's a January's build your own snowman, cute. Then February is football because the Super Bowl.
So those are ready to go. Download them right now.
Just got the cutters for March, which is when is the leprechaun, dude? Why can't I remember? St. Patrick's Day.
I was gonna say Lucky Charms.
So that'll be fun. The St. Patrick's Day. I'll be working on that this week and next, and then that will be the next one to drop. But you can sign up for the Cookie Class Kits. It's a membership, so it builds on itself. So if you sign up today, you'll get the past classes. Which is the Build Your Own Snowman and the football one. If you sign up in March, you get the leprechaun.
Time it out. Well, and within the 30 days that you sign up, a class will drop. That's how it works. So, you could sign if you're
regardless, you're winning.
You're winning. You're winning. Or sign up for the Cookie College. Get those last year classes as well.
Technically a touchdown.
Oh yeah.
Football puns.
You on the field.
Go far with us.
You know what? I didn't know. I'll be honest. A week's point for me is sports terminology. Yeah. But I write in puns for these classes to make the copy a little bit more fun. Forced in my heart. But I had to Google words. Intercept.
End zone.
Yeah, you can only use end zone so many times before you're like, that's the punch you got. So that is thecookiecollege.com. I went to the mailbag.
You did?
Yeah, I actually have some letters.
Oh, now you have a working vehicle? You finally did some work?
Yeah, I went in and she was like, here's everything in your mailbag. And I said, 2 packages? She's like, and I said, no, mail? And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. You had so much mail. We put it in a package.
Is that Olive Garden? Is that Olive Garden?
That's from a while ago. Open me one.
This is from Kai Lee's Dessert.
This one says not from the IRS.
That's hilarious.
Jenna Moulton sent this. It is a quality card.
Is there a sticker? Oh, there's some stickers. Smiley faces, Kylie's desserts. Love it. It says happy birthday. Oh my God.
You know what's so
Look
funny?
how cute these little cat
Jenna
stickers
Moulton
are.
sent this to us. She said, I sent you a card on your birthday, and I never got it. It's like they found it. This is a birthday card.
Oh, this is a birthday card.
Are you kidding me? Have we not been to the Corey?
No, we have.
Corey. Have we
Yeah,
not
because
been
someone
to
sent
the,
it for our birthday.
You know, the Vendy Blendies on our birthday this year? I had to write it down.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to have to cancel that. Happy birthday, Miracle Twins. I'm so excited to start my cookie college journey and be a roomie. She's really good at handwriting.
Jenna drew me and the snake and
It's
you and a dog.
hilarious. I am constantly learning things from you both. You've inspired me to invest in my business, and I've been making some big moves. With love and flour, Kylie Arnold. Kylie's desserts. Thank you, girl. That's so nice.
Wait. I got one from Kylie's Desserts.
Oh, it says birthday Miracle Twins. But look at the little cute
wow,
cat
that's ridiculous
sticker.
if this is a Christmas card and we haven't been in a month.
It is. I see a Christmas tree.
She drew on the front. It's so cute. I'm sorry. Jenna said, and the best birthday ever. Happy birthday, and thanks for being the best thing on the earth.
This is Lillian, and it's her gorgeous family, Richard Lily, trip in, is it C-I-N? Cayenne?
What?
How do you spell C-I? How do you say
Do not
it?
make me spell
Cayenne.
publicly in front of people.
C-I-A-N. How do you
Yeah.
say it?
Cyan.
Cyan?
I think it's a color.
Is it?
Yeah.
Lillian, you'll have to let me know.
This is Jenna and her Mayan.
Oh!
She says, Heather and Corey, happy holidays, roomies. Your biggest fans, Kylie and Cole. P.S. Our fave twin is, and then it cuts off. That's hilarious.
That's true what you
Okay, I love getting Christmas cards, and I know that it took us, well, I mean, yeah, it took us a while to get them.
Listen, I was busy in the kitchen. I don't know what she's doing. That's from Lillian, I think. No?
It says Feliz Navidad on it. No, I don't think so.
Feliz Navidad.
I love seeing what you guys look like. You know, you see these people, and you're like, you're a tiny little circle to me in a name, which is great.
Navidad.
It says, all I want for Christmas is you, and it has a lamb.
What?
It has a lamb.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's hilarious.
It's
Very Merry Christmas and a really good New Year.
That's hilarious.
Okay, this is Jody. She did 2023 by the numbers. I'm really loving these recap things. I'm getting them from Audible.
Yeah.
I'm getting them from Spotify. Here's her 2023 by the numbers. 20 baby goats born on the farm. That's twice as many as last year for those keeping score at home, plus 3 lambs and 8 piglets. Still no rabbits. Wabbit. 9 community education cooking classes taught. That's great. 1 million cookies baked again, or at least it feels that way.
That's
Oh, a good night. 2 concerts, Vance Joy and John Mayer. 1 cookbook club started and 12 months attended. Seriously, so much fun. You should start one too. A cookbook club.
What
That
do
sounds
you do?
fun. I don't know. It said she started and 12 months she went. 1 pretty good year filled with love and laughter and only a few swears. Mostly at the goes. That is hilarious. Love these cards. And now that I even said to the lady, I can't believe you put all that mail, which most of it was spam, into a box. But that was a blast. Okay, moving on, Corey, for our podcast sponsors. Hey, singing. Did we do this? Like, if we say every other word for the sponsor.
Did we try this?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll start with the A chord just so we're on the same page. Next.
Best.
Podcast.
That.
Sponsor.
Let's start over. Okay. You got it.
Okay.
You got it. Go with it.
Yeah,
You
I was
forced the hand.
I was to only know the words. You only said the. Next
Podcast
sponsor
is
AE Scorebackers. I feel like there was a lot of words there.
they
Create
amazing
backdrops
for
bakers
to
photograph
their
bakes.
on
They
offer
backdrops
at
a
discount. Okay, this is terrible. People's ears are bleeding.
AE Backers is the food photography backdrop that we love in the Sugar Cookie Marketing Group. Why, you might ask? It's because they have food safe backdrops. If you see the backdrops out there, a lot of them are not food safe. You take a little gamble doing that if you put your bakes on there. We like food safe. I like that they're rigid, they're matte, they're waterproof, they're stain resistant. I've poured chocolate sauce on mine.
Is there anything they can't do?
You can use code SugarCookie at checkout, save 20% at aucorebackers.com. She said you guys sold her out. She said you guys, they thought they were ready for the event that we shall not be named, Vendy Blendy. Mm-hmm. And then you guys showed up and cleared them out.
I like that.
So
are they catching up with the shipping times?
They are.
But if you guys have any questions about your orders, please direct them directly to the vendors. That was my promise to the vendors, that if anyone had an issue, we'd pipe them right back to them because there's nothing we can do as a group.
True.
So you can email them. I think it's info at?
Maybe.
I don't know. Check it on their website. We also have Bakety Bake Royals Icing. It's called Royal
Royals
Batch.
Icing?
Oh, sorry. It's Royal Batch. It has everything you need. It has cornstarch.
Yeah.
It has white food coloring. And it has vanilla extract.
They
No,
all have egg whites.
And it has egg whites. And it comes in a bag. The Royal Batch, Corey really likes it. I can only speak to the joy I see in her eyes when she gets a bag of it. You can get 10% off code TWINS. Saves you probably, get you free shipping. I see a lot of people just go hard and get the 5-pound bag. They like having it stored. She sells out sometimes. I know she sells out around the event that shan't be named.
True.
Can you believe that's, thank goodness that's so far away from today.
But it's also approaching.
It's always around.
It's always coming. Last but not least is Eddie. He's an edible food printer, prints directly on food and not just cookies. People have printed on cheese, chips, Mentos, M&Ms, which are big around this time of year, especially, for the one you love.
I've never been given an M&M for the one I love.
Macarons. It can print on buttercream. It can print
now
on.
You can get K-Cups,
donuts.
Their own proprietary K-Cups.
Absolutely. So there's so much that Eddie can do. He was really great at replacing an airbrush system and your tons of stencils. If you're thinking about clearing something out, something that takes up a ton of space are my stencils. Do I hardly use them? Yes. Do I hate doing airbrush because I'm bad at it? Absolutely. But Eddie can bring all of those colors, save you a ton of time. You're talking about efficiency.
Yeah.
Love him for corporate orders.
They're going to quantify you, though. That's $3,000. So don't come a knocking if your wallet's not a rockin'. But what you can do is use things like QuickBooks and that You Need a Budget app to kind of fund your Eddie thing. I'm big on making your company pay for itself, making it a little self-sufficient. So you could start in January and have a percentage of every sale you make go to your Eddie fund. And I think you'd have him buy.
Start teaching classes.
Oh, I mean, classes is ridiculous. You could
really, really fast.
I will say January classes are always harder to fill. We actually take off in January. But as you build up towards the end of the year, you're going to see classes in December. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Eddie could be on your Christmas wish list. You could get
Yeah, you could almost say my classes all year long will buy me an Eddie by the end of the year.
Do you have a Twinterest?
Twinterest. Yes. What? I've been purging things. So I've gotten to, here's my big complaint about bins. I was complaining about this before.
You literally just said it.
Bins, the cien, I wanted to clear bin. Yeah, I know. Because I wanted to be able to look at my hoard in the eyeballs. I wanted a square bin. Like I just wanted to go straight. I want the dimensions in the bottom to be the dimensions at the top. I don't know why bin manufacturers, I'm sure there's some reason they're doing it. They make bins flare at the top. I guess it's probably how the creation process, good luck finding them. Where they're the dimensions at the top.
You want a perfect square.
Yeah, I want the bottom to go way up. But when you have a slight flare and you put him next to a buddy, their flares together create 2 inches of dead space
probably
at the bottom.
So you can grab it.
I don't want to grab it.
You can grab it off a shelf.
Yeah, I want to grab it.
Otherwise, you'd have to really grab it from the top.
The Amazon listing really needed, it had a hand on the top. The Amazon listing needed to have said there's a flare at the top. The dimensions are for the bottom. So I bought a bunch of these things. They're not cheap. These acrylic
They didn't have
acrylic
Amazon
things.
Always has the lines on all sides.
He didn't. He did the bottom side and the height. So we got width and length and height of the bottom. The bun, I needed the head.
Yeah.
So now I can't squish them together. So my goal has been donate, right? Here's the one, and I've said this to the January Janitor Challenge. The Minimalist Podcast, if you're looking for something to kind of get you in that purgy zone, the first 10 episodes, great. After that, kind of gets weird. But they said for under $20 and under 20 minutes away, get rid of it. You don't need it because you could easily replace it. So I'm that person who saves like safety pins, and you have them and they're all different sizes. You know, when was the last time you used a safety pin?
Can't remember.
Can't either. Do I have them? Yeah. But get rid of them because they're just taking up space in that juncture. It's actually taking up mental space, mental clutter. So I've been in a binge. And then as I'm binning things, I'm also donating things, which comes on Friday. I'll be ready.
Nice.
No redundancy. That's my goal. You don't need 2 slippers. You don't need matching pajamas. You have pajamas. Nobody cares what you're wearing.
Some people love myriad of pajamas. They want to wear new jammies every night.
Really?
I take a shower before I go to bed. So do my jammies get dirty? If my body is clean.
But I would have to say your jammy is equivalent to your bed sheets. Right. So if you're not washing those every day, then you don't need to wash
washing your sheets every day?
No, once a week.
Yeah.
How often are you washing yours?
Once a week. Got a dog.
Look at me. Oh, gross.
Got a dog.
What is your twin
What is my
trust?
twin trust?
It doesn't have to be a product you bought. It can be a mental state you're in.
A mental state?
Yeah, I don't know. If something you're into, researching.
What am I into?
Andrew Huberman dropped a podcast on how to prevent colds. He says humans inadvertently, after meeting a new human, will always touch their face.
Touch their face. I don't believe that. I've
Touch your
never
eye
been like,
hole.
hi, Heather.
He said you are, though. You
Fix
just
my
don't
nose.
realize it. Yeah, touching any part of your face. He said it's a subconscious thing that we do to sniff out the other person. Oh, have you got a cold? Then you're not touching your face. He said, not everyone's doing it. But he said if you get caught. I said the thing is, the cold virus lives 24 hours on a surface. So you can't just expect. I wasn't around anyone who was sick because you don't know who was there before you were, right? Okay. So he said keeping Purell in your pocket is always a great idea, but just not touching your face will remarkably reduce the times you're sick each year.
I don't think I have a twin trust.
You don't? You're boring.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
All right, guys, we are going off to film the next podcast.
record. We do not film.